Yeah. You can copy and paste everything now.
So it didn't work for the scheduled live, but it works for...
Yeah, it doesn't work for scheduled, so I just have to go live.
People.
Okay. You just make sure I keep watching.
Get out of here, so.
Just put the new one on. Hello, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. Sorry for the troubles again. It was working earlier, and then I scheduled something, and then it didn't work. So I guess I just can't schedule something. Maybe I'll have to tell YouTube about that too, because that's how we figured out how things are working, is complaints to YouTube to help fix the problem that is apparently not fixed. Go figure. Go figure. All right, let's see if I can find this while Scott updates everything and does everything. Whee! Anyways, we got Raina, Jim, Florence, Sharon, Betty, Cynthia, Jacqueline, Kay, Diane, Pat, Milena, Vicky, Delia, Judy, Beverly, John, Brenda, Lois, Irish Sail Lady, and so many more. Hopefully everybody finds this new one. He's doing all the copying and pasting so that what I wrote in the earlier one can be in this one so that everybody can find the video. So the title probably doesn't say yet because he's probably not done. But today I'm going to do a quilt as you go table runner. And I have some purple strings. I have 12 strings that are of purple shades. And then I have 12 strings that are of green shades. And then I have who knows how many of these tone on tones, and these are all different sizes. None of these are exact. So like these are 1 3/4 or less. And then these are between 1 3/4 or less, and the purples are between 1 3/4 or less. So those are my strings that we're gonna use. And then I do have some more of that fabric that's the white for this. This is going to be my end pieces because of what I'm going to do with my lovely table runner. So I'm going to call them like my end corner pieces. Hopefully I'll get those out of this. I have a nice long strip of 80/20 batting left over. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to cut it nice and straight though because it's from cutting it off of something that was on the long arm. And then I have a large chunk of some Kimberbell 108 quilty stuff, fabric that's a green that goes well with my greens. So the theme of this table runner will be purple and green. So I'm going to cut this to the size that I need to this size, but I'm just going to make the whole thing one long strip from this because I don't know what it's going to turn out to be. So I'm going to cut the backing fabric the length of this, and then I'll start from, my first piece and move my way on. So that's how that's going to work. So for now, I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to move my strings out of the way, and I'm going to make this nice and straight. So that way I have like a straightness to work with. I don't want it to be too wonky. All right, so that's the side that's the shortest. I'm going to stand up to do this. Just going to line those ends up. We're going to make a nice straight piece. I'm going to use a long ruler for this one. And I'm going to just line up the line on the ruler with the fold that I created. And we're going to use this one to cut through all those layers of batting. That's my 60mm blade. All right, now I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to make it a width.
What size is your big ruler?
My big ruler is 8.5 by 24 inch. All right, so now I'm going to cut this side right here at the half mark. It's going to be close to, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and a half. So it's going to be 13 and a half is the number. that I'm going to use for the width of my table runner. And I'll probably have to trim again once everything is put together, but so that makes that. And now I'm going to cut this at 13.5 by however long it is. This was a 108 and it's selvage to selvage, so I just need to make it the size I need. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cut this end off real quick because it was a scrap and I don't need that end right there. So I'm just going to cut it as straight as I possibly can at the moment. That can just get set aside. Now I'm going to fold this end onto this end. I'm going to get a general length of my batting. I know things are going to shift and stuff, but we're going to get a general length of this. Right there. And I'm going to cut this off the end, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut the sides. Don't ask me why I kept using that one. I don't know. Throw that over there, throw that over there. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this to almost size. I want it to be a little bit bigger due to the fact that I am just string piecing. So if there's any shifting or anything, I want to make sure that it's a little bit bigger than it needs to be. And then I'll trim it to size when it's done. So that will go in my scraps. And then this side will at least somewhat trim down a little. And then we'll go ahead and lay them together and then put some sticky stuff on this one so that nothing moves or shifts while I am sewing my strings on here.
Sticky stuff.
Yep, we need to grab some sticky stuff, which I totally didn't even think of preparing for. I need sticky stuff. And on iron. Oh, bend over, turn the iron on and grab some sticky stuff that I forgot all about. The stuff that I don't like because it stinks to spray it. But I'm going to use it, some basting spray. There, scoot that over there. And I'm going to go ahead and lay this on the ironing board while the iron heats up.
You need me to iron?
No, I got it because I'm doing the sticky stuff. What I do need is you can turn the camera to face over here, I guess. While I put my sticky stuff on my backing fabric.
So you want it on the iron?
Yeah, right here is fine. Perfect. You guys can stare at my booty while I'm at the ironing board. All right, so I'm pre-ironing my backing fabric. I don't think my table runner is going to end up this long, obviously. That's kind of really long for a table runner. Put that there. Let's see. This.
Booty.
What booty? Yeah, I don't really have a booty. All right. Lay this on here. I'm going to center it. And then I'll start putting my adhesive spray. My adhesive.
Yeah, that's
The stinky stuff. Okay. Let's put it this way. Put some stinky stuff on here. Remember to have a fan on or something, a window open when you're doing stuff like this. I almost said a bad word. You don't need a whole lot. Whew. kill myself at the beginning of the live. Yep, that's how we do it. Whew. I'm going to assume that it's going to be like not that long. I'm not really going to do this whole piece. I'll do most of it. We'll stop about right there because I don't think it's going to be that long worth of pieces. I'm going to smooth this out on here as far as I put the, oops, I got to peel it up, and go back down. Got to straighten it right there. And since it kind of decided to go a little array, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over now and heat that onto the batting. This being on my ironing board, being this big, reminds me I need to recover my ironing board. I got all the stuff ready. I just haven't done it. I think it's about time I get it done. This ironing board cover has seen better days. It is kind of grossly ugly. It was nice when I first put it on. I'm just making sure I'm getting all creases and everything out. I want this to be as flat and straight as possible. And I don't think I put any stuff on that side, but we're going to iron it onto it anyway. I am just using from Walmart. You can buy Taylor Quilt basting spray. The stuff stinks, like really bad. Like I really should have like put a mask on or something because this stuff stinks. They make smelly good ones, and this is supposed to be unscented, and it still stinks. So, like bad stink. I don't like stink. All right, my back is ready for my quilt as you go. So now you can turn the camera. You guys see my lovely batting mess under there? There's no room in here. All right, I am going to roll this up all the way to the beginning. About right here. And this is what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is grab my background fabric, which is the white, and I'm going to grab a single strip to start. I am going to be putting my pieces on here on the diagonal like this. They're not really at a 45, but as long as the end right here, can you see this right here?
Yeah.
Oh, as long as this is crossing over and this end is crossing over, that is the angle I'm going to do this. So what I'm going to do is lay this piece on here, my background fabric, which is my ends as well. I'm going to lay it on here, and now I'm going to go ahead. Oh, good. I'm going to lay that on there, and I am going to grab a pair of scissors like this, and I'm literally going to cut as straight as I possibly can right there. And that's not very straight, but we're going to make it straight. So this now is going to be for the other side when I finally get to the end, because we're going to do this on the diagonal. I'm going to straighten this diagonal cut up with an actual ruler. That way it lays really nice. You know, you don't have to when you're doing, you know, string piecing stuff, but I like it to be somewhat clean underneath the seams. Get rid of that stinky smelling stuff. I have powder somewhere around here, the powder stuff. All right, so I'm going to put this on the end just like this. Grab my first piece. I'm going to make sure that my ends are crossing, and that one does, and that one does. And I am going to take this to the machine, and I'm going to sew it. And the thread color I'm using matches this. Matches the backing fabric. That way, it's nicely looking when I'm quilting it. I mean, the Walmart adhesive does not say to press it. It says to smooth it out. I press it. I've always pressed all adhesives, all spray adhesives, any kind of adhesive I've ever used, I've pressed. All right, I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam down this, and it's quilting it at the same exact time. I'm going to go ahead. I also am going to make sure that I have a decent stitch length here. You could use you can use a walking foot for this process, which would probably keep everything uniform, but I usually don't throw on a walking foot for this because I don't have an issue with keeping everything flat because I pressed it with the iron. So I'm just carefully 1/4 inch seam, one side to the other. And then I'm going to take this over to my ironing right here, and I'm going to press that to the side. So I'm going to go ahead now and press it like this, and then we'll go to the next piece. So it's just going to be a nice scrappy on the diagonal. It's probably, I don't know, I don't think it's a 45 fully. Let's see what angle this is. It's not 45, it's probably 30 something.
You all geometry here.
Hold on, I'm going to see right now. It's a, where's that angle go? No, where's that angle go? So it's not 30. Is that 60? That's not 60. It's not 45, and it's not whatever that is. So I don't know. It's just a random angle. How about that? It's kind of curious, but I guess it's not anything. All right. After I did my purple, I'm going to lay this back right here. I'm going to grab one of my whites. Now I'm going to lay that right sides together, and I'm going to stitch that on. I'm making sure that it's hanging over on both ends, and it is. And I literally can do it like this or the other way. It doesn't matter as long as it fits into the throat space. My 1/4 inch seam is on either side of my foot.
You have a white background piece and then a jelly roll size.
I'm not using jelly roll strips. I'm using strings. All of them are less than 1 3/4 inch, but they're all random between 1 1/4 all the way to 1 3/4, and there's some 1 inch strips in there too, I think. All right, I'm gonna press that back. I'm literally just sewing and pressing. This is how you do quilt as you go. So I just sew it, press it, and as you can see, it's quilting it at the same exact time. And see how flat that back is? It's staying nice and flat. There's no puckers in it. All right, now I'm going to grab a green piece. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to just alternate between purple and green. Lay this on there. And very carefully, like, sew it on. And if they're not perfect, oh well, guess what? It's just a little project that we're making. I'm just going to keep pressing, sewing, pressing, sewing. And this is how you quilt as you go. And see, my strips aren't even straight. They're wonky strips. I didn't even straighten them to start. All right, I'm going to grab another one. So now we're on white again. Right sides together. Put this way this time, because it doesn't matter which way I go as long as I'm sewing my 1/4 inch seam. And this one's kind of wonky, so I'm going to go with the straightness of the other strips, which are my background strips, because I cut those specifically for this project. All right, flip it, press it. I'm going to keep knocking that out of the way. Let's just move it. That's going to be skinnier than 14 because my other ends are not crossing. I'm going way too far down. All right, now for a purple, I need to come up this way, which is fine because I'm still going to cut away all that excess anyway. All right, let's do this way on this one as well. Just holding everything flat while I quilt it through is pretty much what I'm doing. I find this kind of relaxing to do because there's no rules when it comes to piecing like this, and you're making the quilt all at the same time. I don't do quilt as you go bigger quilts, but I do a lot of table runners and wall hangings and so on and so forth. Yeah, I need to adjust it up higher. All right, now we're on white again. I may be able to take up this whole entire thing. All right, now I'll go this way with it.
What's the throat space on your Juki?
My throat space on the Juki is 9 inches from the needle to the hearth. Yeah, you could add whatever you want. If you made a bunch of strip units, like strip pieces or string pieces sideways, or if you just want to put a bunch of 2-inch squares together and then sew them on, you can do that. If you want to do this the block way, you could just as well piece 2 rows of blocks. So say I made 2 rows of blocks that are 6 inches and there's like 6 in a row. I can piece those on here, put that first row quilted on there, then add the next one right sides together, and then continue the quilting, and I'll have a nice straight quilting line across the back. All right, now we're on green again. Let's use like a really vibrant green next. Okay, I'm going to turn it this way again this time. I'm kind of alternating my direction just in case, because I am not using a walking foot. I'm just doing this my way. Stays pretty flat though using the basting spray. Oh, look at that. And you can just finger press it back too if you want, but I use the iron so that it's like super back, you know, and keeping everything nice and flat. All right, now we're on white again. Let me grab a different size white though, because like I said, there's random sizes in here. Let's grab a skinnier one. Okay. I'm gonna go this way this time. All right. Fold it back. Give it a little press. Now I'm on to purple again. Let's find a purple. Let's do a really dark purple again. All right. I'm going to line this up. All right. Again, it doesn't matter as long I'm alternating my direction because I'm not using a walking foot. Let's get that lay flat. There we go. And before I even do anything, you can see that my backing fabric is still perfectly straight. There's no folding, creasing, or anything because I use the spray, so it's staying really nice, and I'm ironing between every time I add another piece. All right, we're on white again. Let's grab a thicker one. Sure, why not? Right sides together. Now I'm going to roll it and go this direction. So you can do this on a diagonal really easily. Just making sure everything in if it's in your throat space or your hearth, whatever you want to call that area, if it's in this area, keep it flat. That's the best way to do this. I'm not worried about this chunk over here or this over here. I'm just worried about keeping the space that I'm sewing flat. Probably should have chose a white batting for this because I could see it right through here, but that's okay. I'm also going to throw that out of the way because it's falling off my chair.
It'll mix in. It'll look like it's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You have all those other colors.
Yeah.
If it was all whites, then you would notice it.
Yeah. It's mixed colors, so. All right. Go this way now. Everything is nice and flat. My goal was a long table runner, so this seems like it's going to be long because I'm barely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the colored strips in, and I have 12 of each, purple and green, plus the in-betweens. So maybe I did need to do more. Now that this part is getting bigger, this side could actually get rolled up too. And like if you wanted to, where's my big ones? Just to keep it out of the way, you can take these really big clips like this and put the really big clips on here to hold it out of the way while you work on it. Trying to keep these right side up because they're tone on tone and I can't really tell. Tone on tone is not my favorite.
Is there a typical width for a table runner?
No, a table runner could be anything under, I would say nothing more than 20 inch, 22 inch in your width of the length can be however long. If you have a really long table in your family room or something, in your dining room or whatever, then I would, make a really long one, but width-wise, I don't think more than 22 inches for a table runner. Yeah. If you have a huge table, though, then it really doesn't matter. So there's no rule. It's your table runner. You do as if what you want with it. Just like me right now, I'm just making what I want, which is what I always do because I'm here to show you how to do it. But I'm having fun. That's the point. I really enjoy creating. So, all right, now for purple. So now I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm also going to change this fold up a little bit more using my giant clips. I'm going to go this way now. Although my back is still really nice on here, so that's a good thing. I got to hold this nice and flat. I'm not worried about the roll as long as it fits through. I'm just worrying about keeping everything flat on the table. What's in front of me. All right.
How long is this one going to be?
I don't know how long it's going to be because I have going in between all 12 of each color pieces, and they're all different widths. I'm going to stick with the smaller ones because I think the smaller ones look cleaner. Okay, that's the good side. All right. Let's do another one this direction.
Zigzag stitch on it?
If you wanted to do a zigzag stitch, but there's no need for a zigzag stitch because you're piecing the pieces on here. You can go in after and zigzag stitch. But zigzag stitches are like more of a top stitch kind of thing. You're encasing these stitches right now because you're quilting as you go. So I'm doing straight line quilting pretty much, but on the diagonal. All right, we're on green. Let's throw in one of these light colors for the green. There, so now I'm going to go this direction. All right, making sure everything is nice and flat. I'm going to check my back and look, it's still nice and straight. There's no puckering or anything. That is a plus. We definitely don't want it all puckered up. Okay, back to the light. Oh my goodness, come on. Okay, I'm going to do this direction again. Yep, still looking good on the back. So green, so next is purple. Do I have a light purple in here? Kind of mixed next to. I'll put this one. All right, I'm going to turn it around this way now. This is so much fun. There's like no real rules here. You could also pin these if you need to, each strip, to make sure that it stays where you want it to stay. Like me right now, who's suffering from not a 1/4 inch syndrome. It's trying to go away from being a 1/4 inch because I can't sew straight. It's one of my problems, the inability to sew a straight line. I can't even do it on the long arm. It starts getting wavy. But that's what rulers are for that. All right, I'm going to roll this up again. Put the clip on right there. Change my clip right there. Stay. All right, we're on white again. Go this way. Yeah, this is going to take up the whole entire thing. Yep. Probably should have sprayed the whole thing. And I did it again with one of the short pieces. Why did I do that? All right, we're on green. Go this way. All right, so this side now, line it up. don't have any smaller ones. Come on now. Over yet. Okay. Making sure that it's good. All right, I'm gonna start it. Finish lining it up. Sew a little bit, line it up some more. And I'm unrolling as I sew. Oops, that way. So what I love about scraps, you can do whatever you want with them. All right, that was purple. No, that was the green pile, huh? That's purple, that's green. So now we're on purple again.
Are you using a fusible batting?
No, it's not a fusible batting. I put fusible stuff on the batting. Some Taylor spray. It's like 505, but or Dritz or any of those brands. It's a spray and it smells bad. All right. Right sides together. I'm just going to fold it back and make sure now that they're covering both ends. I'm also going to remove all these funky colors from behind the white because they are poking through. Let's go this way now. Before I sew, I'm going to make sure that that is touching right there. Oh, it is. Okay, good. Keeping this area flat. So tomorrow, I just want to remind you guys, I will be over on Donna's channel. I should have messaged her to make 100% sure, but I will be over on Handmade by Ying with Donna on Donna's channel for a special project that me and 3 others, Donna, me, Becca, and Fallon did. And we're going to be showing off our lovely projects that we all did. None of us know what any of the other person's projects look like at this point, because nobody's even showed me or anything. So it'll be a surprise, whatever it is we all did. It's the same pattern, just obviously everyone has different colors and so on. All right, I'm on green. I'm just gonna roll this up and go this direction. It's at 5 p.m. my time, so 8 p.m. Eastern. Is same time as her normal, yeah, same time as my live tonight, but her normal Monday night live stream is at 8 p.m. for Eastern folks, which would be 7 p.m. Central, and I don't know what other countries at the moment, what their times are.
When does the times change?
The times change in November, I think, or...
Well, just tell them, whenever
Oh.
the times change, we always stay the same.
Yeah, whenever the time does change, though, my channel's live times always stay the same.
I thought it changed in October. I don't know.
I don't know this year. It's usually the first week in November. The time changes, I think. I used to live in California, so growing up. All right, let's make sure that crosses, and it does. Go this way now. nope, nope, don't do that. It was starting to go sideways. I'm not trying to make it crooked. I don't want it too wonky. Although lots of my stuff is wonky, especially if you look at it and nitpick like I do. All right, now we're on purple. How much longer do we have? A lot more. Okay, good. Because I'm not even through all these colors yet. I guess adding the whites, I probably should do 1-inch strips maybe. Uh-oh, that guy did a little pucky, but guess what? I'm not ripping it out because it's a quilt as you go and it's already on there. So it's puckered a little. That's okay. If you iron it just right, it'll fold it over, and I'm probably going to top stitch this whole entire thing just because I can. All right. I have no idea which direction I'm at now, but we're just going to go with this one because it's right here. I can tell you if you did it straight up and down, it would look, be a lot easier than what I'm doing here on the diagonal like this. If you just sewed them on straight top to bottom. Okay, roll that again. Put the clip on this side. All right, now we're on green. How many do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6 probably. All right. My foot pedal is trying to run away from me. I literally just want to use all these smaller ones up. I should cut the other ones down to being smaller. Okay. Now I'm on purple again. And just so that you guys can see a little sneak peek of what we're at so far, look at this. That's so far. I think it looks really cute. It's going to be a skinny one because obviously I have to trim, but I like it. I'm just not going to roll it this time. I'm going to roll fold. There we go. That way my giant clips fit on better. All right, now we're on purple. Make sure that it covers. It does right there. Sew this purple one on. also going to make sure that this is staying flat.
You know what color you're gonna bind it?
I'm probably just going to use what's left of the backing fabric to bind it. All right. Now we're on these. I'm going to cut some of these down because, well, I don't have to yet. I just want to use the smaller cuts, not the 1 3/4 ones, because I don't know how long this is going to be and I don't want to not have enough. If that makes any sense at all, I want to have plenty of room to use up all these scraps. Notice I'm unrolling as I go, because now I'm getting into that awkward in a little bit past the middle part. All right, next is green. Make sure that both ends cover, and they do right there. This is one of those times that having a knee lift really helps. Oops, stay where I put you. Make sure that that didn't pucker, because it kind of was feeling like it was, but it didn't. Yay. Keeping it all nice and flat. Come on, get out of there. Anyways, where was I? Tomorrow will be on Donna's channel. And then Tuesday, there'll be a new video. Yes, I spent time this week filming you guys a new video.
Oh, you were working like crazy this week.
This week has been a very productive week, although I did wear myself out, and I'm kind of wearing myself out even more. Oh, I got to trim this piece. It is not very straight. It is very crooked. Very, very crooked. Get out a rotary cutter for that. Right there, right there, right there, right there. That was a crooked one. All right, oh, let's move that out of the way so I don't hurt myself. Oh, I just see it's bowed at the fold. That's why. We're going to make it work. All right, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to put that right there at the top. Roll this up. Roll that out. Start it and unfold it as I go. Still keeping everything nice and flat. I'm just making that fold work to my advantage. Well, we're getting close to the end, and I am not done with my colors. we're getting to the point where I didn't baste it. All right, we are going to improvise by cutting some of these down. Cut more than one. We're going to take these down to 1 1/4. Straighten them on here. And I don't care that I'm wasting fabric at this point because this was all scrap. It was scrap in the first place. Can I have a cold water, Scott? That one's definitely 1 1/4 already. This one does not look like it. Sorry, I want to make it to where I get all of my pieces in here, so I'm going to cut all of them down. I need one. How many do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4 of that color, purples, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green, but I'm on green now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six. Thank you. Water break, guys. Water break, stretch. Do what you gotta do. Oh, come on. Stay, please. Whatever. What am I at? Did I say 6 or 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to take this one down. And this one, they're probably the same. Yes, they are. We're going to cut 1/4 inch off of these because they're probably 1 1/2. All right, and 1, 2 more. And I think that'd be enough because then I'll have my end piece. Okay. Let's hope we can fit all this. There's my end piece right there. So we're on green right now. Oh no, we're on white. And then green. And then I actually have to go put some more basting spray on the end where I didn't basting spray it. Oh man, it's getting close. I'm telling you. I'm running it on the closest. But I want to use all my colors. Okay. Let's make sure I can even do this. Hold it with my armpit, you know, because you got to improvise. Get it started. Move my water because it's in the way. Unroll it, make sure everything's straight. Alright. Move that out of the way so I don't hurt myself.
You know how long your original green piece was?
I have no idea. It was the length of my batting. All right, I'm gonna put some more spray on this end now because I'm getting close to it real quick. Oof. Yeah, I'm really on that edge. Stanky, stanky.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just ironing it over here off camera. Sorry, guys.
You want me to turn the camera?
Nope, you don't need to turn it because I'm coming right back now. All right, now we're on green. And now I got sticky stuff. Ah. Well, all right. Keeping it nice and flat. Okay. Now we're on white again. Move that out of my way. Put a skinny white on here. Make sure it crosses over, and it does. Pinning, if you're a beginner, would probably be a better option here because I'm 100% sure that it's going to shift or something. It hasn't yet, but it feels like it because now this other side's getting so heavy. But the back still looks flat, no puckers, so that is even a better thing. Is that even a word? Even a better? It's even better. Okay. We're now on purple. Let's do this one. Make sure it covers right there. We're going to roll this up and go that way now because this side is like way heavy. All right, I'm going to line this up. Sorry if I'm hitting my mic accidentally. All right. My clips are not holding it any longer. I kind of figured that would happen. Let's put it in my armpit. There we go. I'm holding everything flat. Got to do something with this because we're going cricket. I can't, just lay it on the table. And I can't hold it any other way. Got to get creative with your sewing. And if you have body parts, that can hold it up, then do that. When I was younger and limber, I would use my toes, be like, okay, I got my toes, because I pick things up off the floor with my toes still.
Yeah.
But I can't, hold things up. I can pick it up off the ground, but I can't hold it up and do silly things anymore. Just be creative in the way you do this. All right, now we're on white. We're getting so close to this end. And that would be a great purple, and right there would be, and white would be, and that would be green, and that would be. Oh, we're gonna get to that end, one way or another. Oh, there's a chair. I would have fell. It's moving around on me. All right, I'm gonna go this way now. I'm still alternating my direction just to keep my back from puckering. But as you can tell, I'm still holding everything nice and flat, so it shouldn't matter. It is kind of heavy though now on that end because we added so much fabric. All right. Now we're on green. Okay. Now for white. Get some of these green pieces though out of the way from shredding fabric, or else they're going to show right through. Any questions while I'm doing this? All right, we're on purple now. All right, I go this way. Oh, I don't know who that is off the top of my head. Oh, my whole thing fell. I guess I could just let it fall. All right. Now for a white. Right there. We're just going to come this way now. My whole entire thing is literally just dragging on the floor because it's not staying rolled up at this point.
It's pretty long. Right?
It is a long table runner.
It's gonna be a big dog.
Yeah. It'll be long and skinny, which is kind of perfect for those long and skinny tables. You know, we don't have one. We have an ovally shaped, but we leave the leaf in it, so it's a little bit more than oval. It's more than egg shaped because we leave the 2 leaves in our table at all times. Or else we have a small, dinky, round table. And it doesn't fit all of our drop it on the table while we walk in the house. Stays there and don't touch it for months piles. What is it called? A catch-all? It's like the junk drawer, but a table.
How wide strips are you going to use for binding?
I will probably use 2.5 for binding. It depends on what I have left of that green. Oops. You know, the one I used for the backing fabric.
Yeah.
All right, now we're on green. Oh, let's use one of these greens. We should be able to get all these pieces. I mean, hopefully. Let's make sure that that covers right. Okay, it does. Right there. I think I'm just going to go this way the whole entire rest of the way because the darn thing is just hanging on the floor now. I'm dragging it like a skirt, like a long tail of a skirt. As long as this section is flat, that's all that matters. Just keeping this area flat. Come on. Nice and flat. The benefits of Quilt As You Go is, I don't know, just being able to do whatever, I guess.
Well, you rarely do Quilt.
I rarely do it, but I do that. This is the way I do it, though. That goes over there. I don't want to lose that paper. The benefit is for those of you who don't know how to quilt, this is how you're quilting as you go. So if you don't know how to free motion quilt or any of that, there's a benefit to doing this. as in you don't have to try to free motion quilt anything on here.
Does 80/20 melt if you iron it?
Nope, 80/20 does not. It does get flatter. It's not as puffy, but it doesn't melt because it's 80% cotton, only 20% polyester. So it does not melt. If I held the iron on it long enough, it would, but it doesn't melt.
You want to use how much bigger would you cut before you start?
If you want to fold over, then I would cut like 3 inches bigger all the way around, because you're going to be trimming it down to about 1.5 inches, the leftovers, and then cutting the corner and so on. I think I have a video on how I turn the backing fabric into the binding.
Yes, you do.
I have a video on that somewhere. I don't know what the video is called. It's probably done on a Sew Sunday, so I don't know at this point, but I know I did it. Oh, you know what? It's probably in the 3 ways to bind video.
Yeah. The video on just about everything.
All right, we're getting close. I got 2 more of each color left. We're on purple now. Make sure we can do this all the way from one side to the other. I may have just been smart enough to have just enough pieces. Right there. All right.
Did you ever quilt on a standard sewing machine?
I have quilted on a standard sewing machine. I've free motion quilted plenty of times and regular quilted. That's how I started before I got my long arm.
And yes, it is on the 3 ways to bind video.
Yeah.
Person commented that.
Yep. You can see how big this thing is now. Look at all that. Oh, come on. I'm now pressing the opposite direction because I'm literally almost to the end, and then we can trim this thing.
Yeah, what about the triangle at the end?
I'm going to add that, yes. It should be just plenty with what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to go with my green and then purple, and then we'll see. We'll see how much exactly, because this end comes over right at the end. So I probably could have started in even closer. Oops, don't drop it. Not yet. All right, keeping everything flat. And I can't sew fast because I lost my foot pedal again. Decided to run away from me. And you don't have to sew fast like I'm doing to do this kind of stuff. Take your time, make it work. This is definitely a workout, so if you needed some, exercises with your arms, this is how you do it. Trying to get everything, stay in your hand, because it's getting awkward and heavy. And the more awkward and heavy a quilt is, the more of a workout you get. All right, we're on green. Oh yeah, we should be able to do it green, white, purple, and it ends with a giant white, so I wouldn't have to go after that. This might just be just enough strips. We might have got lucky, and I'm kind of glad I cut them down to all being 1 1/4-ish. And I say ish because I wasn't really doing it perfectly. And I still don't have any puckering on the back. That's a plus. Just some curvature on the front. But that's the fault of the pieces. Maybe it could be the fault of my not sewing straight.
When you quilted on a regular sewing machine, did you thread-based pin or what?
When I quilted on a regular sewing machine, I did I thread base pin, or I actually spray basted most things. I've been a big fan of spray basting, even though it's highly stenchy, but I've always spray basted everything. I always put safety pins though after the spray basting. So don't get me wrong, I do use pins. I use curved safety pins. At first I didn't until I knew that there was curved ones. I didn't know there was curved ones when I first started. But I got the curved ones and they work a lot better. But again, I don't free motion and sit at these machines enough to do that, to need to do that. All right, this is almost done. I'm going to be able to get the purple, a white, and that last and final green, and then a white. Oh yeah. And this is definitely going to be really skinny because I'm going to have to cut a lot off. No, it'll be fine. You'll see. You'll see what I'm doing. All right, one more white, and then the green, and then the big end. And then we'll trim the whole entire thing nice and square. Way there. Okay, right there. It'll work out and it'll look good. Okay, press that, put that final green on, and then that end piece. And then we'll trim it down. Look at that. I had just enough pieces. Yay! I love it when a plan works out. And I didn't even plan it. I didn't know what size this was going to be or anything. This was all just a guess. I just grabbed a pile of scraps. It was in its own little bag. You know, people send me all these scraps all the time, and sometimes they're all already organized in little bags. So the purple and green was already in a bag. I had the backing fabric on another shelf, and I created the batting, you know, off of whatever I quilted with it last, whatever I quilted using it. All right, press this, put that end cap on, and then we'll trim it. Here, just pass.
I'm getting big.
Somebody came to say hi real quick. Keep them off of that. Say hi. Say hi to your fans. Huh, Thumper, you gonna say hi? Say hello. Okay, Mommy, put me down. There you go, buddy. All right, here's my end piece. I'm gonna straighten that real quick because it's kind of wonky.
When you quilted with a standard machine on a larger quilt, did you spray the batting, then put the top on, then roll it off?
I didn't roll it all. I used to lay it out on the garage floor on a big giant piece of cardboard so that the floor never touched the quilts. I would lay it out on the garage floor. Is that the angle I want? I need to change the angle real quick. Where's the scissors? I would lay it onto the garage floor and sorry, I'm trying to think as I cut and do that. I put the back down on this giant piece of cardboard that I had, and then I would spray baste the batting onto it, and then I would lay the top onto it. and then fold it and spray it down. And then me and a kid, any kid that was here at the time, would sit on the floor with me pinning it. Okay, that's still not very straight. I'm not very good
That
at
was
this.
a long time ago.
Yeah, very long time
I
ago.
remember that, now that you bring it up.
All right. So straight now. All right, straight now. There we go. That under there. Putting this last piece on, and then we can trim it. There we go. All right, fold it out. Ooh, that looks good. Wow, this is long. This is a long table runner. I did put that the right way, huh? Okay, good. I hate tone on tone. Like right here in this angle, it looks backwards. But if I get close and turn it, it looks correct.
One lady said earlier if you use a black light,
Yeah,
tone on tone.
Yeah.
Helps.
My iron just squirted out some water. All right. Let's move all this out of my way. Now you can see it's not that long, but it definitely is long.
It's not that long yet.
It's pretty good though. Good
Yeah.
size. Now I need to find my shortest points. So I need to find the shortest point, and that's where I'm going to cut to. So I'm literally going to lay this on top of itself for a second and run along it. This seems to be my shortest one right here. This purple. Right there. So this is going to be a very skinny table runner because now it's time to trim stuff off. Where's my long ruler? I don't have a registration mark for this to keep it straight. So what I'm going to do is literally right here. That looks pretty straight to me. Yeah, because there's no real angle on this. I'm just going to eyeball straightness. I'm pretty good at that, I guess. Looks pretty straight. Right there. Here we go. And if it's not, oh well. All right, we're going to move all this out of the way. I'm going to bring this up here now. I'm going to match this end with this ruler. So I'm going to line this up on here, keeping it nice and straight. And cut. Slide it down. Line the ruler up nice and straight. Everything looks nice and straight there. All right, keep going down. Nice and straight right here. And I'm just going to throw that over there for a second. Now I need to find the shortest one on this side, and it looks like it's this white right here. Just looking at it, yep, it's that white. So where'd that white just go?
Way down here, it's the one batting sticking out.
Yep, there it is.
It's way short.
Oh yeah. All right, so now I'm going to put this on a line on my cutting mat right here. It's on a line.
Is there any way you could add to it? Because it's going to take a lot off. It's going to be super skinny.
No, but I can make it within the 1/4 inch seam allowance, cutting a 1/4 inch from it, and then the binding will wrap over it.
Use a smart cookie. Did you know that? Use a smart cookie.
I'm going to use a second ruler to butt up on here to make sure that this is nice and straight. And it is. there, right there. Here we go. I'm going to cut right down that middle. Come up here, keeping that straight. And make sure that this side is pretty straight on here. All right. There. Oops, it did not cut right there. There we go. Right there, right there. Lined up. Perfect. Now go the opposite way. It's a very skinny runner, but you know what? I don't care.
Skinny and long.
Yeah, long and skinny. Right. There. And I'm going to have to retrim because it looks to be getting on the wonky side. Yep, we're going to go down the whole entire thing.
And you need a new rotary blade.
No, it's not that it's new blade. I'm cutting through a lot of layers with all these seams at the end. Remember, you got 4, the layers are folded right here on this end. All right, I'm going to straighten this up right here. We're going to choose a lovely number. Right there. Oh, that there. That looks nice and straight. Because I have a short piece right here, and I don't want to cut all that off. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the white off, because I can't do anything about that short piece. But I can fix this. Right here. Oh, look at that. It's pretty much this ruler's size. But I need to cut a little bit off. Like a little titty bit. Right there. Because that will fold into the binding. Right there. Because that will fold into the binding on those edge. I'm literally cutting like an extra 1/4 of an inch off.
What size roller is that?
This is a 12.5 Omnigrip. I'm going to fix the other side. I have some wonkiness going on that one too. I should have just did this in the first place. But that's okay. It'll be nice. It'll be nice. It'll be nice. A bit at a time, and then I'll square that whole end and go down the other side to make sure everything is square. And since the other side ends right there, we'll cut right there, just like that. There temporarily, and I'm going to go down this side, and then it will be ready and done. That side kind of bows up there a little bit. So now I have it at exactly 12.25 is my magic number. 12.25 all the way down. There we go. So I just had a little bit of bowing. $12.25. Yeah, look at that. So my table runner is 12.25 wide. Not really much to trim right there. And 12 1/4. Yep. All the way down. Look at that. So it is a 12 1/4 by all these rulers I drug out just to do this.
Yeah, you got a lot.
$68.69. So it's 12 1/4 by 69 inches. So it could be the bottom of a bed runner even.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Yeah. All right, so let's bind it real quick. Yeah. Let me grab that excess fabric from the back. All right. I'm going to use this long strip first and try to get two. Let's see how wide this is. If that's 5 inches, I can get 2.5 inch. Nope. I can do 2 1/4 inch binding. All right, we're going with 2 1/4 inch binding. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Literally going to line this up. Do 2 1/4 inch binding. On that fold right there. That's on that edge. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Adjust just a little bit right there. All right. Now cutting 2 1/4. 1, 2 1/4. I usually don't do 2 1/4 inch binding. I usually do 2.5, but I'm working with what I got. And if that's all I can cut, then that's all I can cut. And yep, I think it is time for a new blade, whoever suggested that. I have been cutting a lot of, trimming a lot of quilts and lots of cuts.
They pay attention.
Yeah.
They know.
Starting to get a little on the dull side.
You don't change your blade very often. So.
Oh my goodness, come on. Why did you do that, Mr. Peace? Thank you. Laid nice and straight. That's not 1 inch. That can go in garbage. Okay, so I have 2, and then I need 2 more pieces off of, not that, because I don't need that, off of this. Just this length. Right here, because I just need enough for the sides, because those were long enough for the long side, well, top and bottom, whatever you want to call it. 2 1/4. And 1 more. 2 1/4. All right.
You trim your big quilts the same way?
No, I don't trim the big quilts the same way. I either just use a straight, most of them end up straight, but I either use a straight ruler or I start in the corner with a square. All right, let me put that square away though. I have a bigger square that's for those. I have a 15-inch square. So I either use...
Is it me or your handle starting to come off?
Yeah, it's coming off again. All right, let's make some binding strips. So I'm going to put 1 big, 1 little, 1 big, 1 little. That should be perfect enough to go all the way around. I'm going to also change my stitch length for this regular piecing. Gosh, it still smells like that spray in here. Whew, drives me nuts.
Yeah, it's a stinky spray.
That's kind of why I'm glad I long arm quilt. I don't need to spray, baste, nothing. I just start quilting. I load it on the frame and quilt. All right, I'm just cutting off my ends.
Came over to Mama. He says, I need to be on TV
Yep,
again.
he does not.
Oh, he ran off.
He's gone.
He ran off, a little bugger. That was funny.
He didn't want to be picked up. He says, don't show me off because I don't want to be on camera. Where did the little piece go? I don't know. It fell somewhere.
How would you put borders on that if you chose to?
If I put borders on it, I would add them. I would have had more. I would have started by marking the fabric, the batting. I would have started by marking the batting to where the section I need to sew these on is. So I'd have marked it with some kind of chalk and left, 4 inches all the way around. Adding right now, as it is, you would have to butt batting up to it. So you would put your top and your bottom on there, and then you'd insert your batting in between the two. I mean, it's not that hard. It takes a little bit of practice to do that, but you would put your backing fabric right sides together with the backing and your top fabric right sides together with the top, and then sew the sandwich, fold them over onto itself, and in between you would insert when before you fold your top down, lay another piece of batting on there. That's how it would be done. Or you could mark it and have it already too big, and then you would just trim your ends off as you go. All right, I need to press this real quick. Just takes a minute. I'm literally just going to rush through it real quickly like. Okay. All right. I'm just folding my binding in half. Here, I can even do it before your very eyes. Let me bring it over here so that I can sit. Out of my way. I just take it and fold it in half. I use my my thumb and my first finger. That's all I do. I put my thumb in the middle of the two, my first finger on top to adjust where it's going to lay, and I just ease across the whole thing. I do have a binding thing, but it won't work with this iron, the little binding ease tool that I have, because this iron lifts itself and it doesn't have a turn off lift button like my other Aliso does. This one just stays up. I press the seams as I come to them. Sometimes I'll go through and press all the seams first, then start folding my binding. Oops. There we go. Oh, there's the other piece. It fell on the floor. Just remember not to burn your fingers doing this. I don't know how many times I've burnt my fingers. I tend to burn myself at least twice a week when I sew all the time. Whether it's in here or at the long arm, because I'm pressing the backing fabric while on the long arm. A little bit more, a little bit more. This is probably overkill on how much binding there is, but we're going to make sure that it's good enough. I always make too much than not enough binding. All right. Move this out of the way. Put that under there. These under there. All right. Now that I have a disaster going on, let's just throw the disaster on the floor. Because I'm going to pick off all the 1-inch pieces off of all that. If it's big enough for 1 inch, I'm going to pick them off and cut it. I am so bad about saving my scraps. I don't just throw that away. I'm horrible. All right. Everything's moved out of the way. We are going to lay that there. That there. And you know what? I was going to top stitch, but you know what? I'm just not going to bother with it. Because it's already got enough quilting on it. All right. Let's find a seam, because I absolutely despise when a seam lands in a corner. So we're going to go ahead and find a seam. Place it not in a corner. Find where that next seam is going to land by just additioning it. So we need to move it that way some. Move it. Oops. This way some. I'm just pretending at this very moment. Right there. Okay, and then we're going to fold that out. Come down. See where there's another seam. Oh, that's perfect right there. Okay. And this is going to go right here and right there. So I'm going to combine the two starting on the side right here. All right. So now let's sew this on. I'm just going to leave a long tail. I know it's going to be overkill on size. I do need a seam guide though, because I, again, cannot sew a 1/4-inch seam for the life of me. I'm also going to do one quick thing. Oh, I can't. Never mind. I already started this. It's smoothed out enough. All right. Change my stitch length and start sewing on my binding. I'm going to come close to the edge, come off the corner, and we're going to do this long side. I always attach to the back and roll to the front. That's just the way I do it. I think it looks clean this way. Put this whole thing on my lap. Here we go. Come on. There we go. I know, I'm weird. And yes, I can I think I'm running out of bobbin. Continuously sew, binding on. If I had bobbin. I knew I said I was running out of bobbin. You heard me. I can hear it.
Yep, you can.
I can hear it because what happens is the bobbin kind of bounces around in there when it's empty.
What size foot pedal do you have for your Juki?
The Juki has a large foot pedal, and it fits your foot if you have a shoe on. I rolled an extra bobbin for this. Oh, there it is. Found it. My foot pedal is this big. It's a big foot pedal, so it fits your foot nicely. And the top, if you push down, it sews, and the bottom cuts the thread. All right. I am using matching threads still. All right, where did it run out? Right there. Okay. Here we go. Sew on down some more. What am I stuck on? All my leftover scraps, if they're small like what I just had right now, those will get cut down to 1 inch. Everything else is garbage from that pile, I think. But my scraps are all certain sizes. You'll have to watch how I organize my fabric. I have a video on that. I probably should do a more updated one. Because I have...
Do you leave your scraps in 1-inch strips, or do you cut them in 1-inch squares?
No, I'll cut them down into 1-inch squares. Okay, this got a little wonky right here on the end, but that's because I didn't tack that down with any quilting. And I should have. But that's okay. It's not perfect. And it's going to shrink when it's washed anyway. If it gets washed. Right? Yeah, it'll be fine. This takes a lot of practice, by the way. I've had people ask me, how do I sew like that? So continuously. It does take practice to learn how to do this. And it also takes a fast machine, which is what I currently am on. I did end up with a seam here. No matter what I do, it still has a seam. It's not exactly in the corner, but close enough. All right. All right, so now I'm going to, look at that, I made just enough too. I'm so glad that I used those extra pieces. I'm going to cut off about right there. I'm also going to rip a couple stitches real quick right here. Come on. Creating myself a little bit more space. Oh my goodness, come on. About right there. There we go. That's better. All right, come over 2 1/4 inches and cut it off. Alrighty. Take this piece, put it here, right sides together, just lifting it up. That's all I do. I don't twist or fold anything. I have the top one folded open, right sides out. The bottom one, it is still folded until I slide it right sides together. I did not flip, turn, move, anything. And then I just hold it. I don't even pin it or nothing. And I sew from corner to corner. I always check, and then it's right. Because that one time that I don't check is going to be when I sewed it backwards or something happened. All right, I'm going to finger press that. Change my stitch length back. All right, now to flip it over and sew it to the top. And then this really long table runner will be done. Literally just gonna start right here on this long side. Oh, yeah, and since I don't have a tag, I'll just sign the back of this one. I forgot all about the tag. I didn't even think anything of it. Oh. Okay. This is probably the longest table runner I've ever made. But it also could be a bed runner, even though I think bed runners are more wider than this, or thicker, or taller. How do you even say that? Because this is really long. So how would you say a bed runner is really long and really wide for its thickness? Yeah. The cat is going super meowy crazy right now. He didn't want to be in here. He ran away. And now he's really meowing up a storm. Corner one. Miter corner number one.
Oh, here's one of these. Size for piano.
Oh yeah, this could go on a piano for sure. It can be the cover of a keyboard even. Miter corner number two. So it kind of looks puffy because I didn't quilt that area. Not my fault. I probably should have. But that's okay. All I have to do is take the iron to it and it'll be perfect.
He's just about done.
I didn't realize there's some shredding coming out of the seams. I haven't been doing it a lot lately because I haven't been shipping up. But every time someone purchases a quilt for me, I always put, if you see a thread, do not pull it. Find the source and snip it. Because if you start pulling on threads, you're going to shred every last bit of fabric on that edge. It's usually out from the binding. They always come out from the binding because I don't know if you guys noticed, but it shreds along the binding. It has every quilt I've ever done, no matter the brand of fabric. As soon as that's trimmed and you're binding it, that's where all the shredded fabric comes from. It always comes from there. But if you start pulling on it, it could really rip something in there. So my little mantra is, if you see a thread, do not pull it. Find the source and snip it. Same kind of goes with clothing, because if you start pulling on threads on your clothing, you're going to be naked.
Yeah.
I pulled one thread on a shirt once and it like wrinkled the whole thing up. I was like, whoa, what's happening here? Because it was some kind of cotton lyrica and it pulled funny. It was like the way it was woven, I guess. And yeah, just ruined my shirt. tiny, come on, thread right there. Thank you. All right, 2 more corners to go. Come on, right there. All right, last corner, coming up on it. If I can get it to miter, what's going on here? All right, I'm gonna come over my first stitch, starting stitch, and I'm gonna stitch beyond it, back stitch, lift it, snip it, and call it done. So if I can make in less than 2 hours, a whole entire long, however many inches I said this was, table runner or piano topper or bed runner, really cute thing, you guys could do this too. On a Quilt As You Go. Quilt As You Go is a lot easier than, we could have regular pieced this too, but I mean, I love it. I think it's cute. I like that these ends are in opposite corners.
Yeah. That is awesome.
So this is the longest one I've ever made, I think.
Yes,
I have not made one this long ever. Most of my table runners are like 50 to 61 inches, somewhere around there. This thing is ginormous. What did I say it was again? Hold on. Where are we at? Oh, right there. 69 inches. Yeah, this is 10 inches bigger than a normal table runner for me. Normal table runner is like that long from here to there. I love it with the purple and the green. It looks so cool mixed with the white. And the tone on tone white actually has little flowers on it, if you were curious. It's just little flowers. I don't know how well that's going to show. And the Kimberbell fabric on the backing and the binding looks super adorable. And if I needed this corner, just to show you guys, to stay down because it's, not as flat as we wanted it to be, you can just press it and then it flattens it, Should be good. I love it. You just shake the threads off of it. I think it came out magnificent. There we go. Look at that, all done. Any questions? I'll clean that up later. I have this like horrible mess over here now. Any questions? Nothing?
Not that I see. Give him a chance.
All right, guys, we have 5 minutes till my 2 hours of a live stream that I like to keep myself at 2 hours. Again, don't forget Monday, tomorrow, at 5 p.m. my time or 8 p.m. Eastern or 7 p.m. Central.
Just 5 o'clock our time.
5 o'clock my time. Over at Handmade by Ying with Donna's channel, we will be on for a project that me, Becca from So Becca, Fallon from So Be It Quilts, and Donna from Handmade by Ying with Donna. We have done a little side project, so we are going to show off our work and what we did and how we did it and so on and so forth. And then Tuesday, I will have a new video coming out. It probably will come on at 6 a.m. my time because that's when I like to set, videos that have been recorded on YouTube so that you guys can see it. So, yeah, that's it. That's what I got coming up this week. And then Thursday is Breakfast at Tiffany's, which we will continue on the Bargello, which I'm just going to repeat the one more step and then put it together. So, because it's literally at that point now. So there's that. This is so adorable. I love purple and green together. You know, I didn't think I would, but you know, because green is like a putrid color for me. It's like, ew. No, it looks so cute. I'm gonna have to do this again because I like this, especially a long one. I always have long, skinny pieces left from the long arm.
I think
you know,
more long ones. I think that's a good idea because it looks really cool.
Yeah.
They came up with a whole bunch of ideas.
Yeah,
They
it can be used for.
Fireplace hearth.
Oh yeah, on the fireplace. Some people have really big ones too. The mantle, you know.
On a table behind the couch.
On the back of the couch, on a bed. Yeah.
All kinds of ideas.
The back of the couch is a good idea too. You know, especially if you have purple and green furniture. I don't know very many people that do, but a lot of vintage furniture had colors like this. You know. Yeah, that would look cool. Or again, on a table, a really long family gathering table.
Yeah.
And this would work for fall or spring. This would even work in the summertime, you know, because purple and green is kind of like any time of year colors, even in the winter, you know. He's gonna.
Closer in the camera. I don't know how clear it's gonna be. Let's see all the colors.
Yeah, because you just shadowed the whole thing.
I know. That's the best I can get.
I'll come this way. And again, this was just scraps. They're all different widths, you can tell. Some were a little bit wider, some were a little bit skinnier. Most of these I started out with a little bit, but I don't think I used any of the ones that were too wide. Right here's a wide one and right here. So this starting kind of was wider, but then it got skinny the rest of the way. But it worked out perfect. So I like it. And the binding looks great with it too. Oh, I'm yawning. That's a sign. That's how I know it's been 2 hours of live streaming. Because I get tired. Plus, me and Scott took a break because of live streaming, but we're watching If, the movie If, with Ryan Reynolds and the little girl from The Walking Dead. And she's not so little. She's like 17 years old now, but she doesn't look it on the movie. Not at all. And then so many other voices from like George Clooney and Brad Pitt and all sorts of other people. Like, literally. It's a cute little movie so far about imaginary friends. It wasn't what I expected. I thought Ryan Reynolds was the father and the girl has the special powers or something. But
want to watch it.
Yeah.
So far, we're not done with it.
We're not done with it. It's a family movie for sure. Yep. All right.
Okay, we done?
Yep, we're done. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Don't forget, tomorrow on Donna's channel, Handmade with Donna. Tuesday, a new video. And Thursday, Breakfast at Tiffany's, where we finish the Bargello. All right. See everybody later. Bye.